The reason that I'm so flabbergasted is because I've finally been joined by Benjamin Lomax.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Yeah, what kept you so long? We were all wondering, where on earth have you been?
People have asked me that all my life, and I've still never come up with an answer yet. So it's one of them. It's a work in progress. It's a test, as you say.
Of course, yeah. Well, it's a pleasure, as I'm sure it is for listeners, for me to have you with us.
I hope the beginning of the show was okay. Was it all right?
One for the cutting room floor, I think, in the first 10 or 15 minutes, but we got there in the end. I was just listening to Orbital there, and earlier in the show we mentioned Glastonbury. So, of course, I'm sure you, like myself and many of the listeners, watch Glastonbury. Interesting story about Orbital is in 1994, Glastonbury was the first one to be televised. And it was when they showed Orbital's gig, that the first time that people that had only ever heard about raves being this kind of like, you know, place where people go and get stabbed, and you know, where the drug takers and the evil drug ecstasy, blah blah blah, and then they actually televised it, and everyone at home go, oh, it's just people in a field hugging each other.
yeah.
I think that this is fine.
So 1994, yeah, because that I read the other day the first ever Glastonbury was 1970, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
And I actually had a look at the lineup, and there isn't. It's not like as if there's like, I mean, no offense to the people who were on, but they're not like big headlining sort of bands. I think Led Zeppelin's the only one that you sort of recognise in the whole lineup. It's
all very kind of random stuff. And then they had a second one the year after, which was the same kind of thing. Pink Floyd were meant to play but dropped out.
Bowie played as a young guy, didn't he? Yeah, but he was really young.
So that would be 71. So that's before Ziggy and all that kind of stuff. And then it went on a sort of hiatus and came back late 70s.
That's it, yeah. He had a bit of a break, didn't it? I had to sort of thought, like, I gather what it was actually going to be as a festival. I think it was more like jugglers and flamethrowers, wasn't it? Like,
did they perform? My favourite band to be on in a bit. And then it slowly grew, and it was only until the 90s really that they introduced having a proper fence. Because they used to basically rely on, in a weird way, having as many people jump the fence as bought tickets to have such a big crowd.
So it was encouraged.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's kind of bonkers. My other interesting Glastonbury fact is when you perform at Glastonbury, you take a 90% hit on what you'd normally get for playing a gig. So I'm talking, this is like your Beyoncé's, your Paul McCartney's, like the top level ones. They'll play for absolute pittance just to say I've headlined Glastonbury. Right,
okay. Yeah, because it's obviously better, which is the reason you've already spoken about Arctic Monkeys, I presume.
Well, I haven't mentioned it yet.
Well, but I mean, they were basically... I think if it was any other gig, they would definitely be cancelling it. But obviously, because they cancelled one show in Dublin on Tuesday, acute laryngitis. It's very cute.
Doesn't sound cute to me.
Yeah, so they cancelled Dublin, which I think a few people were a bit angry about because they decided to do 3 days in London. So. As the rest of the world always thinks that London obviously takes away everything from everywhere else.
Of course,
Dublin, people in Dublin obviously were a bit unhappy, but and I think they've. I might be wrong in saying this, but they've ducked out of a Dublin gig before.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I think they feel a little bit like it's becoming a personal thing. But he can't choose when he's getting
when acute laryngitis will strike. Some of the listeners have been wishing that it had struck me earlier on, but there we go. So speaking of Arctic Monkeys, I think to say we saw them the other day, Ben, would be a bit of a stretch.
We heard them.
We sort of heard them when the wind was blowing the right way.
Yeah, the wind was blowing the right way, and we all just shushed each other. Hang on, what's that? Oh, it's Madabum. No, it's not. It's no. I can't hear it.
They finished an hour ago, I don't know.
Yeah.
So for a bit of context, Ben lives in the shadow of Arsenal's Emirates Stadium. So we went onto the balcony and you can kind of hear the gig. I use the word kind of in a very generous sense. Let's just say it's a good thing you didn't charge us to get in, put it that way.
I had to put the lid on the barbecue. The sizzle was louder than the band. Turn them sausages down.
Speaking of which, here is a bit of Arctic Monkeys on Boogaloo Radio. Hack Baker there on Boogaloo Radio.
Very nice.
Lovely stuff. That's new. That's brand new, that one. Doolally from his new album.
What word, Doolalla? We're going Doolalla.
Oh, it's great.
Do you say that as well? Is that just a...
Doolally?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it, no. My mother would say it.
So it's like it's a bit old-fashioned then.
Yeah, Doolally. Although, and you'll testify to this, crikey has entered my lexicon.
Crikey Moses.
Crikey Moses.
It's all a bit ripping yarns, that, isn't it?
Breaking hearts and ripping yarns on Boogaloo.
Brilliant. Yeah, yes, the Hat Baker or Hat Baker?
My mother would say Hat Baker. Hat Baker. He's from East London. There's Hack Baker.
He is. He's supported. I was trying to think then. I've been to a gig and he's been the support he's been around for a while. I thought he wouldn't. A few bands like kind of they're about for a while and never really sort of do much. And I think he's like brought out an album that actually is worth listening to. His old stuff's really good, but I think it's a little bit vanilla.
Yeah. So the new stuff is way more kind of. It's definitely a concept album, and it's full of skits and it's got lots of guests and it's like a proper streets kind of vibe.
Which is good because obviously you don't find your style straight away, do you? We was actually mentioning before, speaking about people finding the style. Wes Anderson, obviously, he's someone who's found his style and his head's firmly buried in that style, innit? It's sometimes it can be a bit of a negative, can't it?
Yeah, and you cannot deviate from that kind of thing.
No, like
but
Plan B years ago.
Yeah, of course.
It was Jack Lad swing thing, didn't it? Like, and then obviously couldn't go back to grime. Then
it has not aged well, that stuff at all.
It's not at all. No.
But the new album World's End FM, it was released I think last week or the week before. Concept album. And it's kind of him in the studio broadcasting, and he's got people phoning in, and that's the guest artists, and it's really, really good. He actually, in Hackney Marshes recently, did a kind of listening party where he brought some decks down, brought a load of beers and a barbecue, and he said on his Instagram, everyone come and join me. And a few of us went down, and it was absolutely fantastic. Great guy.
So you went down to that?
Yeah. So
nice.
it was like really good fun, and I think very genuine as well.
Yeah, I've heard a few people who like tenuous connections that have spoke highly about him, and there's nothing better than that, is there? Really, if you're a nice guy, I know people say nice guys don't go to the top, but look at us too.
we're still here. We spoke earlier about Arctic Monkeys, and I think we've got that song ready now.
Ooh.
Here's from Humbug, Cornerstone. That was Amadou and Mariam, Je pense à toi, on Boogaloo Radio.
I think the most important thing is getting the pronunciation right. It's not about the timing. It's very true though, isn't it? We just don't want to murder the accent or anything, do we?
It's difficult.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'd leave that down to you most of the time. Especially when I'm calling Hack Bakar.
So that was, of course, Amadou et Mariam, Je pense à toi. They're from Grimsby.
You spent a week in Calais, didn't you, pal?
We were asking earlier in the show for people to please send in their requests. It's 07961 976 977. The theme is, of course, music used in films. We've had some fantastic requests in tonight. We've got one more text in. It's from Maff, who is asking for, from the wonderful Billy Elliot, the even better Jam with Town Called Malice. That was Town Called Malice by The Jam. That was Maff's request. Thank you very much for listening, Maff, and thank you for your request. Now, we've got a little game for you.
Yeah, so like all games and inspiration these days, they come up from social media and TikTok. And there's a video been going around at the moment. It's a guy who's his best friend's a cat, but he's also wondered. He put it out there what it would be like if his cat had different regional accents. So I think that we should put it to the test with Charlie. So the example is obviously the cat would say meow. I just wanting to sort of see if you can do some regional accents, but as a cat.
In the style of cats.
In the style of cat.
Yeah, no, bring it on. Let's go for it. You know, they actually say that cows have regional moos. It's true. No.
That's too partridge.
We're asking, what's the best moo?
So we can, I think we'll stick with sort of European, UK and European, and we're gonna.
Yeah. Okay.
I think we're gonna start off with the UK ones. Yeah. So first off, if you're ready,
I'm ready. Yeah.
So I want you to give all these accents, but as a cat, and you say meow. So
bring it on.
The first one is scouse.
Meow.
The second one is Brummer.
Meow. That was a cow.
The third one is Glaswegian.
The fucking meow.
The fourth one is Mank. Be careful now.
Meow. It's hard to do. Meow.
The fifth one, Somerset.
Meow. Japanese.
The sixth one is Welsh.
Meow. Same one.
So the eighth one is French.
Meow.
And the last one is German.
Meow. Absolutely ridiculous.
I think you nailed about 70% of them.
We've never got so many texts and they're all hate mail.
Yeah. All from cats as well. I don't sound like that.
Yeah.
So on that note, we've got a fantastic song, a band that actually Charlie, I've always known a little bit about them. Jules Holland's a part of them. Never really appreciated them, and Charlie's introduced me a bit more to them.
I've seen this band live. They're absolutely fantastic. Glenn Tilbrook and the guys penning some fantastic songs. I fell in love with them as a teenager after my dad bought me their CD, and a fantastic use of wordplay, alliteration, clever painting pictures of everyday life, but then also some fantastic sonically the tunes sound great.
Yeah, they're having a bit of fun as well, aren't they?
Just brilliant. If I was in a band, this is what I wanted to sound like.
Well, we've got the meows from London, haven't we? Anyway, with this, and it's Squeeze with "Cool for Cats."
That was Squeeze, Cool for Cats on Boogaloo. Again, apologies to anybody who was able to catch the meowing contest.
I think you did a good job on the spot, because that wasn't like pre-planned.
It wasn't at all.
No, he didn't know the accent or the regional accents that I was going to present. My favourite one I've got to say out of all of them has got to be. It's a Glaswegian. I don't think it was spot on, but for comedic values, I think it was great. And I love the build up to it, like a cat would say all them words.
In case you missed it, fucking meow. Oh dearie me, that was Squeeze, Cool for Cats. From Group of Lads Cooler Than Us, of course.
Yeah.
We've got a few more features coming up on Boogaloo. It's, of course, Charlie and Ben filling in for Will and Ben. Thank you for joining us again tonight. We've been doing songs in films all night. 07961 976 977. Hayley has put in her request, which is from The Parent Trap, original or remake.
Who knows? Let's just say it's the original.
It's from the one we all love. It's, of course, Love Affair with Everlasting Love. Everlasting Love by Love Affair on Boogaloo Radio.
That song is. Do you know anything about do's, Charlie? Do you have do's in Harpenden?
Do's?
You know, since I've known you, you've done quite a few do's, haven't you?
Do you
remember when you wore your flame shirt with your dad and your family?
Yeah.
That's a do, wasn't it?
We call it a soiree south of Milton Keynes, but yeah.
Especially when you're wearing a flaming shirt.
That was last year. My family's Hutton Summer Bash. We had everybody kitted out in your Guy Fieri button-up flame shirts. Even Nana had one.
So that song, basically, for me, and now we're on the same page. Now we know what do's are. Do's are normally like a 40th or something like. It's normally a working men's club that's hired out.
There might be a magician involved.
Yeah, but that song is a staple song for a DJ to play at one of those sort of do's.
100%.
It's great. There's a few set songs that have to be played. Luther Vandross, Never Too Much is one of them.
Of course, yeah. Well, at a town called Malice earlier, all of our do's, that's one. And somebody, usually at Hutton, will have stolen, I don't know, a mop, and that becomes the guitar.
I think up north, like when especially to Manchester, there's a tradition with do's in Manchester, and I told Emily when I first, and I thought because she was northern that she would have the same thing. So obviously sometimes you play Frank Sinatra, New York at the end of the night, and everyone kicks feet out. There's a thing where people play Never Forget by Take That, and you put your arms around each other, and that's the end of the night song.
That's got to be a Manchester thing.
And then the lights come on. And then you realise how bad your Uncle David looks.
Tie at half-mast.
Quiche on his lip.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we all have those, I think.
Yeah, but in different versions of them.
And do you know what I used to do when I was a child, and I regret that I can't do now? Well, I can do now, but don't do now, is the knee slide.
I've seen you slide on your knees. It wasn't too long ago, either.
Oh, dearie me. Right, moving swiftly on, we're going to have a little feature called On This Day.
Oh.
So looking at On This Day, the 29th of June, interestingly, on this day in 1958 was, of course, the World Cup final in Sweden.
Oh.
So, interesting story about that one, which we know was Brazil's 5-2 demolition of the Swedes in Stockholm.
Yeah, disappointing day for Stockholm, that, isn't it?
It was, of course, but do you know what I'm going to say?
Pele played,
17-year-old Pele played, and in attendance was, of course, my grandma.
Yes, of course.
So this is the interesting thing. So my grandma in Sweden, Mormor, she was there, and for a long time was talking about the football match. And to my father took me, and it was the football match, and I can't remember what, and it was, I think, Brazil. Hang on, what?
Well, she wouldn't have known who Pele was, would she? Because it's a 17-year-old Pele, and then it's
whatever the Swedish equivalent of Mundial was in 1958. She was reading it, so I think she would have known.
Yeah. Oh, that's that there, Pele.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean that's like 5-2, was it, in the final?
Yeah. Still the highest scoring final of all time, and I'm sure Pele. Oh, I don't know if he still has the record for youngest scorer in a final, but anyway.
Well, funnily enough, on this day, 2 years ago, 2 years ago, England defeated Germany in the Euros.
Too right they did.
Which was a fantastic day, wasn't it? I mean, the couple of years we had with England, that was one of them. I don't know where did you watch it?
I watched that in the Euros. I watched that in a bar called Gorilla in Manchester.
Okay, yeah.
And I watched most of that European Championships in that bar. But yeah, what fantastic! And do you know what? I cannot even remember England's goals. I just remember Thomas Muller's miss. He was clean through on goal and put it wide of the post.
I think I celebrated that more than the goals.
Well, that's it. And I tell you what, I celebrated more than the goals and the miss was when the cameraman panned to a crying German child.
I think we all laughed at that.
Oh dear.
Yeah, no, but so it's just today. It was like, oh my god, and that was obviously in a bit of a different circumstance, wasn't it? But
still in the hangover from COVID and all that kind of stuff.
It was great though, and may the many times rain anyway. anyway with Southgate and the boys.
Of course. And speaking of good times, from On This Day in 1958, a track from 1958, and I had a look and I thought, my God, what songs will I know from 1958? And it turns out it's one that we all know. It's the Champs with Tequila. Crikey Moses, it's Boogaloo Radio.
We are live from the Beer Garden. We're going into the last part of the show here. Obviously, just a quick appearance for me this week. Me and Charles work together, but that doesn't end there, does it? Because obviously we like a bit of overtime.
We're also lovers.
So obviously that is my main reason for being a little bit late this week. But in the future, obviously we'll try and get it. I'll try and get here at 8. It might happen, it might not, but I do trust the ship with young Charles.
I hope that you've enjoyed me steering the ship at home.
Yeah.
I've had an absolute pleasure. We've got about 10 minutes left, so we're going to go into a very, very, very quick game.
Oh yeah.
We've got the very special guest that I teased for earlier, but seems to have gone slightly microphone shy, who has a question for us. I don't know the question has been chosen, but will be read out, I think, perhaps by Ben.
It's very true. So it's our usual segment, but without the theme music. So we do this every week. We have a special book, which I only found out not long ago, that the Guinness World Record book is actually Guinness, the company.
Why, do you know the reason why?
Go on.
The reason why is to end debates and subsequent fights in pubs over whether or not this is the largest hole in the Sudan, or whether or not Tottenham Hotspur did win the FA Cup in 1981, beating Manchester City, whether or not this happened or didn't. And Guinness clearly saw that this was going out of hand, and so sponsored the release of the record book.
The person who sort of agreed to having a replay in the FA Cup must have been drinking a lot of Guinness anyway, because that's the real reason Tottenham Hotspur won that day.
He's still bitter, and he was just a glint in the milkman's eye.
Semi-skimmed. So we've got we're on to this Guinness Book of Records 1983, as we've always picked, which is just funnily enough how many years ago?
40 years ago.
So we've got the tallest structures, Charles. So I don't know if you heard before the actual 1983 tallest structure.
I would guess the Chrysler Building.
The building structure.
Oh, okay.
So it's
not a structure, apparently.
So the tallest structure in the world, in the Guide Warsaw radio mast at Constantinople, and near Gabin. You know Gabin.
Constantinople, wasn't that a Libertines song?
Constantinople. A Gabin and Block, 60 miles. Anyway, it is, because obviously this book is very current, 646 and 38 metres.
And this is, a radio mast.
This is a mast, yes.
Yeah. Where, dare I ask? Sorry, what country? Do you know what country this is?
Poland.
Right, okay.
Yes, this is a mast. Tallest structures in the world was a mast. And that's, 64,638 metres. My God. So, the tallest structure now is the Burj Khalifa. And how tall is it?
Can we just have one more time for the listeners, and not for me? How tall was the mast in Poland?
It's 646 metres. 646 metres.
Not 64,000 metres.
Yes, it tickled Pluto.
HS3 will get you there in an hour and a half. Whilst we deliberate on that, and I'm sure you will at home, we're going to have
basketball on a tall finger,
ever spinning, like this show. We've got the last request of the evening. Thank you to everybody who's texted in. It's been a pleasure having you with us. This one's from Lex. It's "Kiss from a Rose." "Kiss from a Rose" by Seal there on Boogaloo. A request from Lex. We have, of course, been doing all night songs in films. Which film was that from, Benjamin?
It was Batman Forever, which starred Nicole Kidman and Val Kilmer. One Batman film, one only. That's it. There's only a few people who've just done the one.
Well, I only played one Batman.
Well, done one film as Batman.
Yeah.
Obviously, the other one is George Clooney. Which is it's a weird Batman.
I've never seen any of the 90s Batmans.
Have you not?
In fact, I've only ever seen the Dark Knight ones.
Well, fair play. You've gone in high, haven't you? why go low?
Of course.
You don't want to see Danny DeVito as the Penguin, do you?
Speaking of going low, let's go a little bit higher and talk about the world's tallest structure. Have you missed me?
So we know what the building is. So I got passed from our producer Ditchfield. He didn't want to go on the mic, so I got left to multitask. So we were asking the Guinness Book of Records, 1983, the tallest structure, which so happens to be a mast, is 646 meters. Now, what we do is say that we're not doing a Bruce Forsyth. It's not higher or lower, because in this instance, technology moves on and we know it's all going to be higher.
I should imagine so.
Because 2023 will take you higher. So it's Burj Khalifa. And I want you to, from you, Charlie, I want you to tell me, what is the height of the Burj Khalifa?
I believe that we have almost doubled our structure building capabilities, and the erected height of the Burj Khalifa is 1,203 meters.
I mean, I like your ambition, which is it says a lot about you. Tipping the clouds and all that. But it's a little bit lower than that, and it's 828 meters. I know. But what it shows you is that although we think that technology doubles, it's a slow train, isn't it? A slow steam train.
Slower kind of. It's one of the few technologies that we've had in recent years that hasn't spiked.
Exactly.
Like the internet, like the use of oil.
Well, the thing that we can never change is, and it's another Manchester fact, I'm sorry about this, but the highest land point in England, where is it?
It's the Vimto bottle.
In Manchester.
Yeah, they've got a statue of a Vimto bottle in Manchester, which they flock from all the way from Droylsden to Wigan to come and see, I think.
I know, I've never seen grapes that colour. It's actually the Gardener's Arms pub in Moston is the highest land point. So if there's ever a flood, or we ever get any bad sort of global warming, you know where to head. It's straight to the Gardeners for a pint of cream.
If we get any good sort of global warming, you needn't bother.
They'll be swimming in Harpenden, won't they?
They'll be buggered.
Armbands in the curry house.
Oh dear.
But yes, we've had a lovely show there. I'm sorry if I've only been present for 50% of it.
It's been absolutely fine, and I'm sure you'll agree at home that we had a pretty good time before you turned up, and an even better one once you did. Thanks, of course, to Ben for joining us. Thanks to our producer, Ditch, for doing what he does so brilliantly. Thanks to Will for buggering off tonight and letting me come, and thanks of course to you for listening. We're going to leave you with one more, and if you've been told to go to bed, you have my permission to stay up as late as you like, because it's longer than you think.